Welcome back. The saga involving the Acting Chief Transport Officer, the CSA, and the Transport Minister continues. The minister has said that the bargaining agent, CSA, is guilty of selective representation and makes it clear that he will not be backing down from his threat of legal action against the CSA.
Transportation Minister Guy Joseph has indicated that he is standing by his decision to challenge the Civil Service Association, the CSA, in court on the issues that were brought up in various missives sent to the Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Transport and himself. He says his decision is final as the accusations in the letter about his interference with the duties of the Acting Chief Transportation Officer are damning accusations. But is the minister refuting the claims made in the letters penned by the CSA?
I have indicated that the issues pertaining to the CSA would be dealt with at the appropriate time. I find it very strange that the letter that has been written by the CSA, I'm awaiting the final correspondence from my legal team to be able to advise on the way forward. But that is how I'm dealing with the matter, because there are some very strong allegations in the letter. Very, very strong.
Given that a formal letter was not written to the CSA after the missives made its way to the public, the minister was asked whether he believes that going to court was the best course of action to take.
The letter was not written to me. The letter was written to the Permanent Secretary of the Ministry responsible for Transport. But the letter had allegations concerning me. So the manner in which that is dealt with is different from if a letter had been written directly to me.
Joseph took jabs at the CSA, claiming that they are selectively representing their membership.
So don't you think that the Acting Comptroller of Customs is deserving of the same type of representation? So when entities that want to speak in the interest of the people will play double standards and double roles, that is where the media need to call them out.
In a previous interview with Hot 7 TV, Secretary General of the CSA, Claude Paul, explained that the Acting Comptroller of Customs, who is now at the heart of the Range Rover saga with former British High Commissioner Dr. Ernest Hilaire, has never sought counsel or representation from the agency. Reporting for Hot 7 News, I am Genevieve Gonzaga.
Recently, minibus operators staged a sick-out which lasted 2 days in a bid to get officials to understand their plight as well as implement measures that will cushion the economic hardships that they are currently facing due to the COVID-19 pandemic. The protest, although short-lived, came to an end with drivers announcing that the Ministry of Transport would be compromising and providing some relief soon. Transport Minister Guy Joseph says the parties are still actively seeking resolve.
As talks continue between representatives of the minibus drivers and the Ministry of Transport regarding whether bus drivers will receive the demands that they have been agitating for, Transport Minister Guy Joseph says such a decision is not one that can be taken solely by a minister or even the Ministry of Transport, but lies with the Chief Medical Officer.
This is not a decision that is made by a politician, a minister of government, or a cabinet. And while the cabinet has authority to make certain decisions, the decisions are made based on the advice given. And on matters pertaining to health, between the Minister of Health and the Office of the CMO, especially in relation to the pandemic, that is where we get our guidance from. And when the CMO say it's an all clear to go in that direction, we would be more than happy to go in that particular direction, because I have been on the record several times saying that given the present situation, it would be very difficult for the bus system as is to remain viable up to the end of the year.
Bus drivers have asked to be able to return to carrying a full load of passengers. There's even been talks of an increase in bus fare. Joseph says a compromise may be the better solution at this time.
The discussions have been around not an increase in bus fares that will be permanent, but whether for the safety of persons on buses, whether there should be a slight increase just for the period of time during which they are traveling at a reduced capacity, and as soon as they go back to full capacity, the bus fares would drop back to the normal fares as they are now.
Minibus owners have been clamoring for an increase in fares since 2013. In 2018, they chose a rebate instead of a fare increase following the removal of the government-assisted $12.75 cap on fuel. For the Hot 7 News, Nisha Charles reporting.
A former health minister is calling on government to get its economic affairs in order. Dr. Keith Mandesi says that during such uncertain times, government should not be focusing on building roads, but rather on keeping its people safe and fed.
Dr. Keith Mandesi, a former health minister, is lambasting the government for what he says is the mismanagement of the people's money. The Alan Shastney-led administration has gone to Parliament numerous times this year during the COVID pandemic to borrow funds for the COVID-19 response as well as to fund capital projects. Mandesi says that all he sees are roads being built, which to his mind does nothing for those struggling during the COVID-19 pandemic.
In my opinion, the development that they are taking on now could have waited. We could have everything new. We need new roads, we need new buildings, but there's a point in time when you have to have priority. Now, the priority is in putting things in concrete and fixing roads. At this point in time, I would put a hold on that. The monies that they're taking to do that, they should put it within the economy and let the local economy move. Look at what happened. They've put all their eggs in one basket with tourism. Look, England is closing even worse yet. Canada is closed down. America is in a mess. So the little money that you have to manage it and spend it in the right thing.
The focus, he says, should be on injecting monies into a wider cross-section of the population instead of a select few.
Keep your people surviving, run the small businesses, help the small businesses like St. Kitts, like Nevis, like St. Vincent and the other islands are doing, and stop putting that money in fixing roads. You'll have to let the people know that food and survival and living at this point in time is a priority, and not fixing roads and spending the millions and millions of dollars in doing things so that you can have some political gain. I'm not impressed with it, and a lot of people are not impressed with it. I think survival, if you have your population, you can live for another day. If your population die on you, you have an economic problem.
Mandesi says St. Lucia should pattern after countries like St. Kitts and Nevis and St. Vincent in providing a longer-term stimulus for its residents during this COVID-19 period. For the Hot 7 News, Nisha Charles reporting.
Supermarket retail giant Massy has brought its service to the southwest community of Choiseul. The new store has been welcomed by shoppers and the Commerce Minister, who is also the Member of Parliament for Choiseul-Saltibus. However, there are concerns about the future of mom-and-pop shops in the community now that the retail giant has opened its doors. The managing director of Massy Stores St. Lucia, Martin Dorville, says the opening of Massy Choiseul represents a paradigm shift in how the company operates. All the range of products and services offered at other Massy locations will be initially available in the Choiseul store, but customer demand will determine what items stay and what items go from the supermarket's shelves. Dorville says the supermarket chain is pleased to bring its services to the southwest coast.
Choiseul has been something we've spoken about for over a decade. Finally we are here. Finally, we made that decision, and it looks like our customers are really appreciative by the comments, by the eagerness, by the awe, the expression of awe when they walk into the store. It's beautiful, yet it's unfinished, but it's beautiful, and we continue to stock it, we continue to add products.
Massy is also hoping to bring its pharmacy services to Choiseul. Dorville says it's all about bringing convenience to customers.
You would have your grocery, your deli, your dairy, your grab-and-go items, because Massy Stores has invested significantly in a central kitchen that allows us to provide freshly cooked food to customers on a regular basis. So the full complement: produce, our fresh meat, yet is not stocked as yet, but very soon will be stocked with fresh meat, fresh chicken, So the idea is that the Choisellians who want to stay in their community to shop will have every reason now to be able to get what they want in Choiseul, so they don't have to go anywhere else to shop.
Massy Choiseul is a dream come true project for Southern businessman Brian Dyer, who pitched the idea to Massy to open the store in his commercial space about 10 years ago.
I was down in the village of Choiseul when I got a call from the CEO, Martin Dorville, discussing some other issues, and then I brought up the topic about the borders, and since Choiseul is so big in population, and what would have been the outcome if the Choiseul people could not go down to the south to get their groceries? What would have happened? He said, "Oh my God, Brian, you know, you're right. You're right in what you're saying." And 2 days afterwards, I got a call saying that the company has agreed to come down to Choiseul.
Commerce Minister and Choiseul Saltibus MP Bradley Felix addressed the concerns about the impact that the retail giant's presence would have on small shops in the community. Minister Felix sees possible tremendous growth in other sectors due to Massy's move to Choiseul and the commercial space on offer in the community.
Some people, question, the wisdom in it as it relates to how small similar shops may be affected. I think it's an opportunity for our small shops to also grow and, to innovate. So, at the end of the day, as a community, we welcome growth. Choiseul is well known for having quite a bit of farming, fishermen, craft, people involved in various forms of manufacturing. And the potential for their business to grow lies right here. As long as they could bring their product to a standard that will be accepted by the company, we see great growth for them. They don't have to have the additional expense of carrying their produce to Vieux Fort or even to Castries. So there's significant potential from that aspect. We also see the opportunity for employment, the opportunity for a catalyst for growth in a number of other areas. Look, we already have 2 banks that will be coming in. We have a pharmacy that will be coming in. We have a doctor's office. We have labs. We have a gym.
The grand opening of Massy stores in Choiseul would not have been complete without a blessing from Choiseul Parish priest, Father Kenneth. This is the Hot 7 TV Nightly News. Still to come, the Derek Walcott Square project Phase 1 is complete, but the mayor says it's just a start. And the St. Lucia Sports Academy's first graduation.